may have signed it. Us being together long enough, she does things like this.
Never, ever.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Talisa Jackson is suing her ex-boyfriend, Stephen Johnson, for unpaid loans, car repair costs, and lost wages.
Order. All rise. Yeah, it's case number 259 on the calendar in the matter of Jackson versus Johnson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Jackson, you and the defendant have a couple of kids together, clearly a very long-term relationship. You lived together for a substantial period of time. You claim that he owes you some money for loans and some damage he did when he crashed your car. Mr. Johnson has a cross-complaint. He said that you have some property that belongs to him and purposely vandalized some property at the time of your separation. So for my purposes, the important thing for me is timeline. When did you and Mr. Johnson start to live together?
We started to live together in May 2013.
You have two children. How old are the children? For a period of time between 2013, when you started to live together, and now you were in jail.
For a 3-month period, yes.
3 months. Which 3 months?
July 23rd to October 25th.
Of 2016. So with Mr. Johnson, with the exception of that jail period, am I correct that you and Miss Jackson, who have two kids, and she was pregnant when you went into jail, is that right? That you lived together as a family.
Right.
Is that correct?
Correct.
That would be correct.
That's correct.
Now, you had an apartment together?
I had an apartment and he came to stay with me, yes.
He came to live with you?
Yes.
In May of 2013?
Yes.
Did you have a lease?
Yes.
Lease was in your name?
Yes.
You extended the lease?
No.
So you became a month-to-month tenant?
Yes.
Are you still in the same apartment?
I am, yes.
And while you were together, what kind of work were you doing?
Real estate assistant at Wisdom Realty.
And where were you working, sir?
May 13th, I was working for ACOC. It's a GED program in Northeast D.C. as a tutor.
So you both had incomes, that right?
That's right.
And Mr. Johnson, how did you split the rent and utilities in the house? How did you manage the finances?
It pretty much went half and half.
Did you put the money in a joint account to pay the bills?
No, I would give her cash.
So you were paid in cash or because you cashed your check?
Cash my check.
Where did you cash your check?
Bank of America.
Is that where you have an account?
Yes.
Where is your account?
I have Navy Federal and Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo, Bank of America. And I assume everything was going fine in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. You had another baby together, right? When did you cease living together, month and year?
May 13, 2013. No, 16, 17.
2017.
May 13th, 2017.
17, correct.
Is when you had an argument, you ceased living together. Prior to that time, you were living as a family.
Yes.
I'm not interested in the loans you took out as a family. Do you understand? Because that's what your lawsuit is mainly about. That while you were together, living as a family, you took out some loans, and he was supposed to pay them. They were really for his loans. You split the money. Courts don't care. You're living as a family. It's your problem. Did you pay back some of the loan?
I told her I would help her with some, but I never made an agreement to.
No, I'm just asking.
Absolutely.
She took out loans in what year?
2016 and 2017.
Prior to your breaking up.
Correct.
When you were living together, were you giving her, pay careful attention, were you still giving her cash?
Absolutely.
Because the bank?
That's it.
And how did you pay the loans?
Through my credit card.
Right. But you mixed your money up, right?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? He gave you money. It's not that he didn't give you money. He gave you money. How do I know whether you took any of the money he gave you and paid off some of your credit card? How do I know that? And we don't have to know that because you live together as a family. Now, the next thing that I have to deal with is you transferred some money from his bank to your bank.
Yes.
When was that?
On June 2nd, 2017.
Well, that's after you broke up, so you know you can't do that. Did you pay him back for that?
Yes.
Okay, so are you telling me that you weren't made whole for that?
No.
The bank? Are you telling me that you were never made whole for this $800 by your bank?
I never received the money, no.
From the bank?
I never received the money.
Did you pay him back that $800?
Yes, I did.
Show me.
This is a receipt that I have. that I had him sign when I went to the ATM. We went to the ATM together.
Where did he sign this?
Where his signature is under the writing that I put.
Well, I see your signature, Jackson.
And his is like the big S with the J and stuff. I also went to his job and gave him more money before that day and had him sign another receipt.
To Mr. Johnson, I've compared his signature to the signature on his answer.
This receipt is kind of faded, but I sent it to an email before it got faded. I have a picture of it that I took.
This says Talisa paid Stephen $320, $6,317.
Yes, it doesn't say 800, it says 320.
The remainder of the $800.
It says $320.
Right. So I'm asking you, said
No.
no, you never paid me.
No.
No what?
She did this.
But you signed it.
She did this. She may have signed it. Us being together long enough, she does things like this.
Never, ever.
Just a second. Did you report the fraud to the bank?
I did, but I made claim that I know her. I made acknowledge that we was together at the time, so they said it was under investigation. And I never received any money. I got laid off from, I don't have that bank card anymore. I've been trying to get in contact with PayPal.
So is what you're saying, she never gave you any money towards the $800 that she took out in June?
She took the money out of her PayPal account and had the money in her hand. She never gave me any money.
Just a second. Is what you're telling me, let me understand this. She had a PayPal account in which she had deposited at some point with your consent this $800, and then she spent it? Just a second.
Yes.
Look at me.
Yes.
Look at me. While you were together.
No, this happened after we weren't together.
Well, I know she took it out in June, but
Right.
what I'm asking you is, when did you put it in?
I got paid June 1st on my paycheck. She took the money out June 2nd at like 4 in the morning. Before I could wake up, the money was gone on my account.
Oh, well, then now you have to show me. Now
This
you have
is
to,
it.
May I see it?
Your Honor, he took money out of my account prior, and I've been asking him for the money. He told me he would pay me this day.
Just a second. You have to understand, I don't care what happened before you broke up. That's your family business. But after you were no longer together, you have no right to take money from him.
He gave me permission.
Just a second. Show me. He says he didn't. Show me that he gave you permission to withdraw $800 from his account after you broke up. That's all I'm asking you. Don't say anything. Show me. Okay, the last part of your complaint is that in January, while you were living together, he had a car accident in your car.
Yes, one of 3.
You're together. After January, you stayed together January, February, March, April, May.
We broke up many times throughout our
I
relationship.
don't care. He wasn't driving your car without your permission.
That day he was. He was.
Okay, fine. Okay, now, finished with your claim. Let's get to your counterclaim, sir. What items do you think that the plaintiff...
It's a Dawn & Co. watch.
A Go watch?
A gold watch of mine. It has diamond bezels in it. Paid $700 for it.
And a speaker box.
It was a speaker box, it's a tailgating box that we paid for last. I paid for it, was usually mine. Something that I really like to listen to.
Just a second. A speaker box that's in the house that you purchased when you were living together as a couple.
Right, exactly.
Forget it. It's not personal property. Do you have his watch?
No.
Where is it?
I have no idea. After he crashed the car, he asked me, was it in the car or in the house? And I told him I didn't see it and the car was towed.
I'll say something. She told me the same thing last year. She took my watch from me, and then after I got out from jail, she had my watch as a present. It was my watch.
Because I had
She
found...
lied to me all year long saying she didn't have it, the same thing she just said.
If you broke up in May, what were your clothes doing in her house in August for her to pour bleach on?
Just a few things maybe still laying around in closets or so. And then she came in to my new girlfriend's house, and she put the clothes on the car with the bleach and said, tell your new girlfriend wash your dirty laundry.
I assume, Mr. Johnson, that if you hadn't taken the clothes when you left, you weren't interested in them.
Okay.
Okay. So she owes you $800. She owes you $800.
And then I have this, a windshield she bust. She
When?
broke a windshield wiper.
When?
This was...
Wiper.
Tell me when.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much money you got from your mother's financial settlement?
$100,000
In total?
in total.
How much did you get?
$149,000.
Why did she get $50,000 less?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Talisa Jackson says ex-boyfriend Stephen Johnson owes for loans, car repairs, and lost wages. Stephen is countersuing for destroyed and stolen property and money taken from his bank account.
I assume, Mr. Johnson, that if you hadn't taken the clothes when you left, you weren't interested in them.
Okay.
Okay. So she owes you $800. She owes you $800.
And then I have this, a windshield she bust. She
When?
broke a windshield wiper.
When?
This was...
Wiper.
I have
Tell me when.
9/22/17, I got a front windshield fix. She put several holes in.
Just a second.
In a car, man.
Shh. September of this year.
Yes.
After you broke up.
Yes.
On what date did she break your windshields?
I would say August 25th.
Police report.
I have pictures. I don't have a
Police report.
I don't. I only have pictures here to show and a receipt.
Claim is dismissed. Miss Jackson's claim is dismissed. It is without merit.
Yeah, you
However,
didn't
on the
cover-
Mr. Johnson, $800. I'm not satisfied.
You
that
didn't
he was
cover
paid
lost
back.
wages, what I was suing for.
Did you understand? I'm dismissing your complaint. You have no complaint. He came to your job because he was angry that you took out money from his account. And
He
if you
gave me
lost your job,
permission to
and
do
if you
that.
lost your job, all I asked you to do was show me.
It was
that
a
after-
verbal agreement, and that I gave
We're
him the
done.
money back.
We're done. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Why is there excuse? You may step up.
I thank her for, being a smart judge and making a great decision.
Unfortunately, I lost.
They poured bleach all over my clothes, threw them on the car, told my new girlfriend to wash my dirty laundry.
No, I did not. I'm not like that. I bought this man clothes. I bought this man so much stuff, gave him money,
Everything. She's trying to ruin my life. Her and her other friend there.
helped him become the person he was before this summer. Now he's nothing.
My new girlfriend. It's just time to move on,
And that's just the repercussion that I have to have with being so nice and loyal in my relationship.
For the sake of the kids, get it together.
I mean, I want him to be a better man for my children because they deserve that.
She need to leave it, put a lot of things behind her and, let life go on.
Other than that, I'm happy with being single and moving on with my life.
Yeah, watch out. They snakes in the grass.
I'm definitely not. Side girl, the same way she got him is the same way she gonna lose him.
And now, the next case.
All parties, step forward.
Tyra Johnson is suing her twin sister, Trina Shaw, for an unpaid loan to pay her bills.
Miss Johnson, the defendant is your sister. I think what I read here is that you're twin sisters. Is that
Yes.
right? What I read in your complaint is that when your mom passed away, there was a lawsuit as a result of some sort of negligence. And each of you received, in 2016, a substantial settlement of that lawsuit. I think each of you received somewhere close to $150,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sometime in 2017, in early 2017, your sister, according to you, asked for money. She said she needed money for what?
For personal business,
What does that mean? That nothing's personal here.
phone bill, expenses to live. So
What did you
I
do?
asked her for some money. Yes, I did.
Do you work?
Part-time,
What do you do?
production art,
What do you do with the other part-time?
school,
What kind of school?
Straight University, for a bachelor's degree for my criminal justice,
How long have you been going to school?
for like 3 months,
How old are you?
49,
How much do you get for going to school?
nothing,
Who pays for the school?
financial aid,
How much do you get in financial aid?
$9,000 a year
Do you have,
when I graduate.
how many credits do you have so far?
I just started school, so I don't have any.
And you're going to school part-time?
I take 2 classes for right now, but it's full-time. It's 4 years of college
If you take 2 classes,
per semester.
if you take 2 classes per semester, and it's a 4-year college program, you're going to be 80 by the time
I'm
you
sorry.
graduate.
Well, excuse me, Your Honor.
And all that time, you're going to be getting $9,000 a year financial
Excuse me,
aid?
Your Honor. I mean, two classes per quarter of the year.
What'd you do with all the money that you got from your mother's settlement?
Well, first of all, I didn't get what my sisters have gotten because I took
What
out
did you
loans.
get?
I said I got $100,000 total after loans I've taken out prior to
I don't care
got
about the
money.
loans you've taken out. You're a grown-up lady. You're almost half a century old. What I'm asking you is how much money you got from your mother's financial settlement.
$100,000.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When she called me to ask for money, I was like, listen, you're going to have to go to the bank and say that you're going through a hardship, and they'll be able to release the funds, hopefully. And then when she went to them, allegedly, she called me back. Oh, they confiscated my money. They have a patent.
How much did you give her at that time?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Trina Shaw borrowed money to pay bills. and hasn't repaid her.
What'd you do with all the money that you got from your mother's settlement?
Well, first of all, I didn't get what my sisters have gotten because I took
What
out
did you
loans.
get?
I got $100,000 total after loans I've taken out prior to
I don't care
got
about the
money.
loans you've taken out. You're the grown-up lady. You're almost half a century old. What I'm asking you is how much money you got from your mother's financial settlement.
$100,000.
In total? I'm
In
not talking about...
In total.
How much did you get?
$149,000.
Why did she get $50,000 less?
We all got the same amount of money.
Of course you did.
Well, I took out loan prior to I got my money. So that's why when the checks was...
Who loaned you the money?
Oasis loaned me the money before I got my settlement.
I got it. So you got $149,000, but you spent part of it before you even got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, that sounds like what we're doing with school.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
It's okay.
Perfect.
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
blew it.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in human services. I already have my degree in human services.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
For whom?
I work for the Bergen County counseling. I do human service counseling.
Who do you live with?
I live with my husband and my son.
How many sons do you
I
have?
have one.
How old?
He'll be 25 next month.
And he lives at home?
Yes, he's in school. He's still in school. He's about to graduate.
What does he do?
Well, he's retired. Well, he's on disability, actually, excuse me. And he does, he works for the charter school down in the area where we live, and he's a crossing guard. So he does that to supplement the income that he gets for disability.
And who do you live with?
A friend of mine.
Your sister doesn't have to help you with bills. That's your responsibility. You're 49 years old. How much money did you take from her? $1,500?
I don't really remember.
How much money did she take from you?
I have a breakdown, but I do.
Just tell me, in January of 2017, she called you, according to your complaint.
I gave her, I said $1,500. That was the first amount because allegedly she called and she was like, can I borrow some money? And I was like, well, I advised her to put some of the money into a investment account, which she told me she did. And when she called me to ask for money, I was like, listen, you're going to have to go to the bank and say that you're going through a hardship, and they'll be able to release the funds, hopefully. And
you mean you're talking about putting money in something like a CD that couldn't be taken out?
Well, it's an investment account, like a retirement, because that's what I did. I put some of the money away, So when she called me, and I was like, well, what are you talking about? Just call them, and they'll let you. And then when she went to them, allegedly, she called me back. Oh, they confiscated my money. They have a patent.
How much did you give her at that time?
Total, Western Union, she received...
I'd like to see the proof of it.
January, right here, it's below here, January 13th. So it was $1,374 and let's see.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
What kind of friend do you live with? Male friend or female friend?
A male friend.
Does that male friend work?
Yes, he do. But it's part-time work, but it's not consistent work.
You owe your sister $2,074. Pay her. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
Excuse me, step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had hard times.
She just needs to help herself out. I'm just done.
But she knew I'm gonna pay her back.
I can't help you. I mean, really, it's just enough's enough. You got to learn to help yourself first.
She knew that, but what she did is what she did, so what can I really say?
It's gonna, I guess, stay mutual, I guess. It's not, we're still sisters.
I love her. I'm always love her. None at all.
The bank is closed.
You should be going up to the insurance company, not me.
Don't talk to her.
Dad cashed in after their son's crash.
Did you know your father got the settlement check?
No.
Mr. Wright denied it completely, like he never got anything.
And Mom says it was no accident.
What did you do with it?
I provided for him.
No. No. You took his money. You can't take his money. You're his father. You're supposed to support him.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Gaishan Diu and her son, 19-year-old Mark Wright Jr., are suing Mark's father, Mark Wright Sr., for an unpaid medical bill and stolen money.
Order. All rise. Case number 195 on the calendar, the matter of Deal Wright versus Wright.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
What is your last name?
This Deal, I'm Wright.
Who's going to speak? Okay. Ms. Deal, you and Mr. Wright have 5 children together?
Yes.
And first name?
Mark.
And Mark had always lived with you, but
Yes.
then he decided at some point he wanted to live with his father for a while.
Well, he was acting out, so I sent him to stay with his father.
17?
16, correct.
He was 16 then?
He was 16.
In what month and year did you take him to his father?
2013 of June, that summer of June.
And how long did he stay?
Probably Christmas, December, right before Christmas,
Of what year?
2013.
So the incident involving the accident happened in 2013?
Correct.
Why are you here now?
Because they started garnishing my check this year of 2017.
May I see that, please? Okay. So, Mr. Wright, now, the story is that while your son was living with you, he was in a car accident.
Yes.
In what month was that, Mark?
I don't remember. You don't know.
What month?
October the 15th, 2013.
Okay. And you responded? Were you there when he was injured?
I went to the scene.
Okay, but you weren't there when the accident happened.
Oh, no.
You were called to the scene.
Yes.
You went to the scene and they took him by ambulance to the hospital?
Yes.
Did you stay in the hospital for any period of time?
For like a couple hours.
They're garnishing your salary now for the ambulance bill.
Yes, they are. They did.
So the ambulance bill was how much?
$878 was
I think you're responsible for that.
Well, first of all, that wasn't the first time she dropped my son off to me. This has happened numerous times. And every time she dropped him off, I get his grades right, get him back in school. She comes and grabs him because I can't fight the situation of her coming to get him because I don't have custody of him. But every time I ask her for custody, she denies me because she wants to keep receiving the child support.
You know that that's what courts are for?
Yes, that's why we're here.
Did you? No. No, that's what courts are for 4 years ago. Because if you felt that your son wasn't doing well in his mother's custody, then you go to court and you change the custody order. She doesn't have to consent. If she physically turned him over to you and then comes and picks him up 6 months later, it's usually because he probably says, oh, I don't like the rules here. I like it better home. I'm going to behave. She comes back and she gets him. Miss Wright, between June of 2013 and December of 2013, were you receiving child support from Mr. Wright?
Yes.
For all 5 children?
Yes.
How much?
$107 to be correct.
Plus rearage.
Plus arrears. I'm not talking about the arrears. So you were getting support.
When he paid it.
Well, I just asked you, between June and December, were you getting
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. And that was supposed to be for this child.
You're correct.
Right. Did you stop the portion of the child support that was allocated for this child?
Did I stop it?
Yeah.
No.
Was it coming out of his check?
No, he dropped it off.
107.
107, when he did pay child support.
I'm just talking about between June and December, when your son was living with him between June and December.
No, the child support continued on whenever he paid it, and I took care of all 5 of my children with 107 that he gave me.
I'm just talking about this child. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Between June and December, he lived with his father. If he was paying child support for all 5 children, and his father was providing housing, food, electricity, whatever, and you were not providing that for this child, then that portion of his child support should have been reduced during the time he lived there with him. Don't you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So all I'm asking you is, did he pay child support from June to December?
Yes.
And the child support you did not reduce during
No, I
that
didn't.
time? Fine.
As a matter of fact, it increased during that time.
No,
So
it
what?
didn't.
She took me back to court for an increase of child support not too long ago, actually. And 4 of my kids are out of the house. Only one of my kids in the house. Well, almost
Like, it doesn't look like you're losing so far. So what do you want to share for? I mean, $107 to take care of 5 children we're not talking about a boatload of money.
No.
You know, he eats more than $107
does.
worth. Okay. So I try to be fair. Let's be fair. So let's say 107 divided by 5 equals $21. Times 4 equals $85 a month. Times 6 equals $513. That's what he should have gotten. Your ambulance bill is $878.
Correct.
$365. That's the difference between the child support for your son that you should have stopped in the time that he was living with his father and what the ambulance bill was, $365. Now, the thing that I'm actually most interested in, Mr. Wright, is the second part of your action, which is that there was a settlement check.
Yes, it was.
As a result of the accident that was received by you when?
It was within that month. It was a couple of weeks after his accident, an amount of $1,500.
What did you do with it?
I provided for him.
No. You mean with that $1,500?
What is he going to do, steal his shoes? He's going to steal his bedroom sets? He's going to steal his clothes?
Listen to me. I don't answer your questions. What I'm telling you is put that money away for his future. Put it in a bank account where he can't touch it, and it's his money. So if you took that money, you took his money. You can't take his money. You're his father. You're supposed to support him. An insurance company's not supposed to support him.
I support him.
No, just a second. Not if you used his money.
He used his money.
That's not what you said.
Ask him. He's right there.
Did you use your money?
Yes.
To buy what?
When he took me shopping, I bought clothes and shoes.
What else?
And other little things when I want to go to the movies and to the mall and stuff like that.
Did you have a discussion with him about what money he was using?
No.
I'm not going to say anything.
I'm going to ask the question again. Did you know your father got the settlement check?
No.
You did not?
No.
When did you find out he got a settlement check?
Well, my mom told me.
When did you find out he got a settlement check?
When the courts sent me papers to come to court about an ambulance bill, and the guy that, when the incident happened, the guy that hit my son, I called him and asked him about them taking care of the bill. He said the insurance company took care of everything with Mark and settled out with Mark.
They didn't take care of the medical bills, apparently.
The settlement, whatever.
You should be going up to the insurance company, not me.
Shh. Don't talk to her. In what month and year did you find out that there had been a settlement check? What month did they start?
They got us my check as of January.
When you asked him about the settlement check, what did he say?
Mr. Wright denied it completely, like he never got anything.
Well, he did. He got $1,500. Did you know?
No, I have proof that it was more than $1,500.
May I see it, please? $3,200.
From what insurance company was that?
My insurance company settled with Mark Wright and not Geisha Deal in the amount of $3,200 involving an accident that occurred November of 2014.
Wrong accident.
It's just a date that's mixed up. Years mixed up.
You don't come here with mistakes.
Don't talk to each other.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many accidents were you in?
He was only in one.
I don't know what this letter is, madam. October 15th, 2013. This says November of 2014.
And later today.
What do you think he owes you for the phone?
$700.
For what?
Because he wouldn't give me the phone.
But you gave
Gave
him
me
the
the phone as a gift.
Not at all, ma'am. How that discussion went along. What part?
Geisha Deal and her son Mark Wright Jr. say Mark's father, Mark Wright Sr., owes for medical bills and for stolen settlement money.
Okay. When you say wrong accident, was he in more than one accident?
Well, he was in one accident.
May I see?
This. And the bill was paid for by Blue Cross.
October 15th, 2013. So I don't know what this letter is. This letter has to do with an accident that occurred in November of 2014. His medical treatment was October 15th, 2013.
And his EMS bill was October the 15th, 2013, I'm sure.
Oh, it had to be. How many accidents were you in?
He was only in one.
In one. I don't know what this letter is, madam. I have no idea what this letter is. I see a claim here for an accident that occurred October 15th, 2013. That's what this says.
Correct.
This says Michael was evidently the driver. You want me to think that he was the driver of the car, and he says that the defendant was paid by his insurance company $3,200 of 2014. So I don't know what this is.
There's something her and Michael wrote up.
That's not what we wrote up.
That's what that is.
Would you give this to her, please?
She wouldn't get a letter from Michael. He would get it from his insurance company.
Just a second.
That's the paper for
I'm
the insurance
sorry.
company.
This doesn't say how much it was. This man says it was in November of 2014. I don't know how many accidents he was in.
Well, this is the paperwork from the hospital stating when the accident even happened. And he said it was in what? November 2014?
No, October the 15th, 2013.
Talk. Can I see what you said?
The proof is that he got the settlement check for the incident that he should have paid the ambulance bill with. The insurance money was mine. The insurance even came from me.
Custody, that would have took care of everything.
It doesn't matter. The insurance came from
Goodbye,
me.
folks. Goodbye, folks. We're done. I told you 4 times. Don't speak to each other. I think that you actually both deserve each other, first of all. What you should have done was stop his child support for this child while this child was in his care. You didn't do that. He should have taken care of the ambulance bill, and he should have taken care of the ambulance bill with whatever money he got from the insurance company. All agreed. The reason I'm throwing you out is because I said to you, don't talk to each other. And I don't feel badly about it at all. You living back with your mother now?
I live on myself.
How much?
For all 5 of them.
And you $67,000 in arrears.
Only one of them is living there.
Just a second. Is it for current support or arrears?
Both.
Bye.
Thank you.
You actually deserve each other.
Excuse me, step out.
Well, I thought it was fair and just.
I'm not fine with it.
It's always about the money.
Him just being himself.
I end up keeping my son from being on the block, being the next weed seller.
He wasn't doing all that.
I'm not going to let him die, or I'll be the reason for his death.
My son wasn't in trouble like that to be keeping him off the block.
We're going to get over this.
I'm still be family. That's it.
We're going to go to sleep, we're going to wake up, and be back co-parents.
Hey, we can do what we can do. That's all.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Barr versus Graham. Step forward.
Nabisco Barr is suing her ex-boyfriend, Aloysius Graham, for an unpaid loan, the cost of a phone, and a cancellation fee.
Miss Barr, this case is not going to take very long. This used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. Shortly after, according to your complaint, he got out of prison. The two of you reconnected, and that was in what month and year, sir?
August 2016.
And in August 2016, according to you, you loaned him money to buy some clothes when he got out of jail.
No, actually, I took him to go pick out clothing.
According to you, that he got out of jail.
Correct.
And you went shopping with him, and he never paid you back.
Correct.
And when he didn't pay you back, you had August, September, October, November, December. When did you finally break up with him?
So we finally got to serious disagreements June of 2017.
Okay, so in a year, he had never paid you back for any of these clothes that you bought him.
Correct.
Okay, I don't care about the clothes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you telling me that the story that he just told me didn't happen? That your phone got messed up, and then when your phone got fixed, you gave him the other phone that you had been using? You want me to believe that he made up that story?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nabisco Barr says ex-boyfriend Aloysius Graham owes for a loan, a phone, and a fee.
Okay, now let's get to the phone, because those are the two things that you say he owes you for. At some point, you got a cell phone. Did you get a new one for you and a new one for him, a new one for anyone else? Or did you just buy him a cell phone?
I already had a cell phone. I added him on my line.
What month and year?
September 2016.
So you added him on your line, and the arrangement was bill in October?
No.
November?
No.
December?
Yes.
January?
Yes.
February?
No.
When did you have the phone disconnected?
March.
Did you pay the phone in any other months other than the 2 months that she has indicated?
No,
when
Your
you
Honor.
had possession of the phone?
When I had possession of the phone, I paid for 2 months, Your Honor.
Okay, and how many months did you have possession of the phone?
For 2 months.
Well, she bought the phone in what month?
I'm not sure when she bought the phone. I was never on her account. She only bought the phone because her phone was messed up. So she went on her own and got a phone, and when her phone came back fixed, she gave me another line, and that's when I took over the payments.
Okay, she gave you another line with a phone that she already had?
Yeah, her phone messed up. She went and opened up her own account on her own and opened up a line and was using it until her phone fixed. Then she had 2 lines on her account. Then she gave me the line and said, here's a phone. You can have it. I don't want this phone. So I took the line.
Okay. Why did you only pay for 2 months?
Because she told me to pay for $50 a month. So I paid $50 a month when I got the phone. She had the phone prior to that time.
Okay, so you paid $50 a month in the months that you had the phone?
Yeah, the phone in between January and February, I believe.
And she took the phone back in March?
No, Your Honor. She never got the phone back.
She didn't get the phone back, but she cut your service off.
She turned off the phone because we got into a big argument. The reason why we got into an argument, Your Honor, because she took the phone and put some type of spy technology on the phone, Your Honor. She was stalking me through the phone, through my Facebook, and all type of stuff. So when I confronted her about it, she got mad and turned off the phone. So once the phone was useless, I took the phone and tried to get it turned back on. They told me they can't do nothing with it, or they can't take the spy technology off. So I got rid of the phone.
Okay, fine. What do you think he owes you for the phone?
For the whole total amount of phone is $1,657.
What do you think he owes you for the phone?
$700.
For what?
Because he wouldn't give me the phone, and I have text messages asking him to give me my phone, and he refused to give me my phone.
Well, you gave
gave
him
me the phone as a gift.
No.
Just a second. You gave him the phone.
Not at all, ma'am. So how that discussion went along, he got out of jail. He was saying he needed to get back. Oh, what part?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. JudgeJudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Are you telling me that the story that he just told me didn't happen? That your phone got messed up and you got a different phone, and then when your phone got fixed, you gave him the other phone that you had been using? You want me to believe that he made up that story? He didn't make up that story.
He didn't make it up, but he's adding on a little bit. So if I can tell you the real story. So how that went was I had my own phone. I lost my phone. When I refound my phone, what can I do with 2 phones? He was begging for a phone. He stated he needed a phone. I told him you can get the other line if you wanted to pay, if you would pay for it, which he agreed to do.
So he paid $50 for 2 months?
Yeah, but
January,
he had the phone before
February.
that.
Just a second. He paid $50.
Correct.
Right.
Not to mention he started downloading games. He started streaming music.
You have no case, Miss Barr. That's why I said this case is going to be very, very, very short.
Well, I have evidence if you need it.
I don't need any evidence. You have no case. You gave him the phone.
I did not.
You turned it off. Did you put spyware into the phone?
It was a Sprint family locator. I told him I was going to report it stolen.
We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's okay.
I love Judge Judy.
He needed a phone. I looked out for him. I gave him because I have to pay a cancellation fee.
I got my own stuff. I don't need her stuff.
I'm not stalking you.
She was tracking me, stalking me.
Just return the phone. He didn't want to give me the phone.
She was just mad and upset that we didn't get to go as far as we planned to.
Oh, you know, I ain't going to do nothing for no man.
Distant memory. I go back to my wonderful life. I'm just happy with Judge Judy seems it my way.
Disability was paying off.
How much money did the federal government give you in back money?
Total of $44,000.
You also won a workman's comp case.
$119,000.
But his girlfriend was spending it fast.
You claimed that while she was living with you, she racked up a lot of bills, $7,000 worth of things she bought.
Yes, ma'am, and I got proof right here.
You understand, Mr. McGuire? Sometimes you work the system, sometimes the system works you.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Charles McGuire Jr. is suing his ex-girlfriend, Naomi Jeanette Manis, for using his debit card without his permission.
Order. All rise. Yeah, it's case number 264 on the calendar in the matter of McSworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Manis, how old are you?
46.
Prior to meeting the defendant, where were you working?
I was not working at the time, Your Honor.
Where were you living?
In Burlington, in a mobile home with my grandmother.
So you were living with your grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you were employed on a full-time basis?
In 2014.
How have you supported yourself since?
I did odd jobs for people, and I got paid for taking care of my grandmother. She's 96 years old.
Got paid by whom?
By the state. She had heart problems.
What happened to your grandmother?
She had heart trouble.
Where is she now?
She's still living in Burlington.
Who's taking care of her?
My sister.
When did you meet the plaintiff?
In August of 16, sorry, Aaron.
And you met him online?
Yes.
When did you meet him in person? Date?
12 hours later.
When you met him 12 hours later, where did you meet him?
He came to my home and picked me up.
Where you were living with your grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
And I gather from reading this complaint and this answer, you never went back to your grandmother's house?
Right.
That's some devotion.
Yes, ma'am.
To your grandmother. I'm talking about to your grandmother, not to him.
I still went to see my grandmother.
12 years ago. What?
I still went to see my grandmother and done what she needed, and my son was also there.
How old's your son?
He's 19.
You still getting paid by the state to take care of?
No, ma'am.
Were you then?
I was then, but that stopped when I left.
What month did it stop? Leave.
3 months ago.
You moved in with the defendant in August of 2016. What kind of a house do you have, sir?
I got a double wide, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
A year, a little bit over a year now.
Do you own it or rent it?
Own it, ma'am.
Have you ever lived there with anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
With whom?
Naomi Manus.
Just this lady?
Yes, ma'am. And until January, end of January, February, then her friend come from overseas and moved in with us.
Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she ask you if her friend could move in?
Yes, ma'am.
You said okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because she was going to help pay the bills.
Did she help pay the bills?
Yes, ma'am.
You received some sort of a settlement.
Yes, ma'am.
For what? From what?
Disabled. I've had a lot of injuries, got hurt on the job, and I got my disability last October.
How old are you?
48.
When was the last time you worked a full-time job?
Around 2012, 2013.
So you were at first denied disability?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you appealed that decision?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were appealing that decision, how did you support yourself?
My family.
I know the business.
Yeah, I lived with my
business.
sister before I bought my home. I lived in with my sister, and she helped me. And I helped myself out.
Better.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we're talking better.
Yes.
Now we're talking what I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of odd jobs?
I do a little bit of mowing, landscaping.
Lawn mowing, landscaping.
Yeah.
Paid in cash.
Yes, ma'am.
And you hired a lawyer to appeal the denial of your disability benefits.
Yes, ma'am.
And they finally said, oh, he's disabled. Can't mow lawns and do landscaping anymore. So how much money did the federal government give you in back money?
I got a total of $44,000.
You following this?
Sure.
$44,000 while you were doing landscaping work, living with your sister.
No.
You bought your mobile home. You settled the lawsuit for $44,000, not settled it. They gave you $44,000 in back money. What month and year?
October 2016.
What month and year did you buy the mobile home? Remember, you took her to live with you in the mobile home, and that was in August of 2016, so you already owned the mobile home.
Ma'am, that's not correct. It was September the 7th of 2016.
Fine. So she came to your mobile home September 7th. You didn't get your money from the government until a month later. From listen to me, the mobile home, the double wide. You said you own it.
I had a workers' comp claim, and I won it too. And that's how I bought my mobile home.
So you also won a workman's comp case?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
June. I got it in June of 2016.
How much?
$119,000.
Just want to know, you didn't tell any of these people that you were doing landscaping over the last 3.5 years? No.
No, I didn't do it all the time. I just do it a little bit just to keep myself active.
This is what the lawsuit is. Now I know. Now I know. I just want to set the landscape, who my people are. You claim that while she was living with you, she racked up a lot of bills, $7,000 worth of things she bought.
Yes, ma'am, and I got proof right here.
From when to when did she rack up those bills? What month to what month?
October to January, February.
October while she was living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
January, February. While she was living with you, while her friend was living with you for a month or so, because her friend came in.
She lived from February to June when her son got out of school.
And what methodology did she use to use your credit? Because I assume she used a credit card.
When I was asleep, she had got my debit card out of my wallet.
Not interested in your son, Matthew McGuire. So you had a debit card
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you had the debit card?
For years.
Years. And I assume that you look at the statement every month.
No, ma'am, I don't.
Well, that's your problem, That's your problem, Mr. McGuire.
Yes, ma'am.
That you don't look at it every month. Because if what you're telling me is October, November, December, January, and February, you didn't get a bill from your debit card, and you didn't say, aha, I haven't seen a bill from my debit card. And this lady who I'm sleeping with in my double wide, you know, she probably went in and got, either she did or later, after she left.
Yes, ma'am.
After she left. Then you said, aha, I haven't gotten a bill, or maybe the bill started to come. That's your problem. You're
Yes,
living,
ma'am.
sleeping with, that's your problem with this lady. If you said to me, she got my debit card, and after she moved out, she started to make charges on my debit card. I'm listening. Did she make any charges on your debit card, Mr. McGuire, after she moved out?
No, ma'am.
So they were all made while you were together?
Yes, ma'am.
While you should have been looking at your bills every month?
Absolutely, yes,
That's
ma'am.
perfect. That's all I wanted to hear. You understand, Mr. McGuire, sometimes you work the system, sometimes the system works you.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it? Now, let us get to your ridiculous counterclaim. I have 1 minute.
Okay. When I left, he didn't allow me to take anything that was there. Nothing. I had to go and file charges to get my stuff back because his son called the law and I was told I was trespassing. I had to file charges, I had to rent trucks, and I had to take several trips to go get mine.
How much rent did you pay him while you were there?
None, Your Honor.
46 years old? Is that what you told me before?
Yes, ma'am.
Good job.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're disabled for how long?
Since 2014.
Just a second. So, for a year and a half, you were getting your own disability because you're disabled, and you were getting money to take care of your disabled grandmother.
And later today,
Mr. Wiggins, how much ahead of the barricade barrels was there a sign to get over?
Probably a good half mile.
That would seem reasonable. Why didn't you get over?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charles McGuire Jr. says ex-girlfriend Naomi Jeanette Manis used his debit card without his permission. Naomi is countersuing for truck rental fees.
Disabled, Your Honor.
Just a second.
But I don't do side jobs.
Just a second. You're disabled for how long?
Since 2014, I had a botched surgery.
Just a second. I thought you were the caregiver for your grandmother.
That was before I had my surgery, Your Honor.
No, that was what you told me, not in 2014. You told me that when you met him, you moved in with him immediately last August. That's what you told me. And before that, you said you were taking care of your 96-year-old grandmother and being paid by the state. And the last check from the state for taking care of your grandmother, that's what you just told me, was in September. But you have been receiving, according to what you just told me, disability for yourself. So that translates to me, at least for a year and a half, probably a lot longer, you were getting your own disability because you're disabled, and you were getting money to take care of your disabled grandmother. Goodbye.
What is your excuse? You may step out.
I still wear the ring.
I had given it to her before, yes.
He never asked for it back.
Later on, yes.
Not to ever be that stupid again.
I am his first wife, and we just recently got back together.
I'm good. I'm very happy.
Find a good woman, and I got her.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wiggins versus Ayala Garcia.
Essa Ayala and her son, 20-year-old Chris Garcia, for damage to his car.
Mr. Wiggins, it is your claim that the defendant, who was driving the car, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
Garcia, that Chris was responsible for an automobile accident that caused damage to your car.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant says that you were responsible for that accident. His car wasn't damaged in that accident only because you had a bigger SUV.
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't in the car with him?
No, ma'am.
But you are the owner of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you co-own it?
Yes, I actually helped out my son by putting his vehicle and the insurance under my name. I was helping him out.
Why?
But
how old are you?
20, ma'am.
20?
Yes, ma'am.
So it was cheaper to have it in your name?
Yes, ma'am. That's
because
the route.
he's younger?
Yes.
Okay. And so there was insurance on the car?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had insurance on your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've read your complaint. And you were driving all the way over in the left-hand lane, correct?
I was in the left lane that...
you're the
it'd be easier to show you.
You're the orange car.
Yes, ma'am.
And the blue car is the defendant's car.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you go over and show me your version of what happened?
Construction area, there was probably a half-mile warning to the construction area.
Right.
I had already moved over into this lane a good bit before the construction zone. I don't know why he started hitting the barrels, but he just kept hitting barrels, and I dodged two of the barrels. The third barrel contacted the front of my vehicle that came off of his vehicle, and I don't know if he was not paying attention or what, but he just continued to hit barrels.
Well, he couldn't go anywhere, actually.
I couldn't go anywhere.
You couldn't go anywhere, but he couldn't go anywhere. According to your diagram, where was he supposed to go? There was a big truck in front of him, and from that picture, because what he's going to tell me is he wouldn't let him in. Is that your wife?
Yes.
Was she in the car with you?
No, ma'am.
No. So you were alone?
No, ma'am.
Who was in the car with you?
I had a person that rides with me to work every morning. He was not able to come because he had to work. It's on the police report, his name is.
Okay.
But I had already moved over, and he could have moved over if he wanted to, but he continued to hit barrels starting at the side of my vehicle.
Show me where he could have moved over, sir. Where could he have moved over?
He could have even moved over into this area because the construction was a lot further up the road.
Well, you know that. I wouldn't have moved to the left.
No, I'm not trying to keep him out. Trust me, I slowed way down when the barrels started flying everywhere.
Well, I'm talking about before the barrel started to fly. Just Mr. Wiggins. You can step back now. I'm talking about before the barrel started to fly. Did you see the defendant's car when you moved over to the right lane?
No, I did not.
When for the first time did you see the defendant's car?
When he come past me hitting barrels.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You specifically excluded him from the policy and said he would not be driving the car, which is why they gave you a lower rate. That's outrageous. Is he still driving the car to work? Yes, of course. That's a big problem for you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Philip Wiggins says fellow motorist Chris Garcia caused damage to his car when Chris ran into a barricade on the highway.
Okay. Now you want to go over there, Chris?
Yes, ma'am.
And show me your version of the events?
Well, I was right here, and the cone started blocking off the two left lanes.
What?
The barricade started blocking us right by me, and he was rushing me off the road too, so I had nowhere to go. So I basically,
Why didn't you move into the right lane?
I had my signal light on, but he was rushing me. He was rushing me.
What does that mean, he was rushing you?
It was like rushing me into the barricades. Like, he didn't let me go through the other lane.
He didn't let you in?
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't let you in?
Yes, ma'am.
Step back. Mr. Wiggins, what time of the day was this, sir?
This was like 5:12 in the morning.
Where were you going to? To work? And where were you going, sir?
To work.
Okay, what time are you due at work?
6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. Do you take the same road every day?
No.
Was this the first time you were on this road?
Maybe my 10th time. My 10th time, yeah.
Do you remember the date?
I have that written down.
Okay, must be in the police report. May I see the police report?
Yes, ma'am, you sure can.
Mr. Wiggins, how much ahead of the barricade barrels was there a sign to get over?
Probably a good half mile.
That would seem reasonable. Why didn't you get over?
I did not go that long way. I went through a loop, and it started those cones just started showing up as I was
responsible. And I don't think that that's true, because if they had barrels up there and they were blocking the left lane, they always have a sign well in advance, lane closed, get over.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question to you is, and I can understand, you know, some people wait until the last second and they expect somebody to let them in. Was there traffic that morning?
No.
Any traffic?
Yes, ma'am. There's always traffic. I've been driving that road for 29 years. There's always traffic.
When I say traffic, were there a lot of cars?
It's the diagram does justice to the traffic that was there, and there was more cars other than that, but that was pretty much how the traffic looked.
Okay, and you got over how much before?
I moved over when I saw that it was a closure.
Was that the first day that it was closed?
It was the first day that I noticed it was closed, yes.
Well, you said you've been traveling the same road for 29 years.
Right, but I don't work every day of the week, so that was the first day that I noticed that it was closed.
Okay, may I see pictures of your car, please?
Yes, ma'am. And there's also pictures of his vehicle with the 55-gallon drum stuck underneath it.
Okay, what kind of car were you driving, sir?
2012 Toyota Camry.
And do you have an estimate to fix the dents?
I tried to go through the insurance. I have a letter here stating that Mr. Garcia is explicitly denied coverage on that vehicle.
May I see it?
It's from the insurance company.
Well, Miss Ayala, you specifically excluded your son from the policy when you put the car in your name.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
So you said he would not be driving it.
Actually, whenever I had called the insurance company, they were supposed to have added him on there, and there was a mistake.
Show me.
I don't have it.
Show me. Okay. You specifically excluded him from the policy and said he would not be driving the car, which is why they gave you a lower rate. That's outrageous. Is he still driving the car to work? Yes, of course. Yeah. That's a big problem for you. I have an estimate for $1,265.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you suing him for $5,000?
There's 5 days of rental car involved in getting the car repaired. I have that.
Do you have a bill for that? Did you have...
I have not had the car repaired.
What does your wife do?
She's retired. She used to be a school teacher.
Does she have her own car?
Yes, she does.
Oh, and she's retired. She'll drive you to work.
Okay.
$1,265. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Ma'am?
What?
Could I add anything?
About what?
About the diminished value to the vehicle?
No.
Funds are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He did try to run him off, and he didn't have nowhere to go.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt in the accident.
I really did not think that it was that much of damages.
He refused to give me his information.
It wasn't really a big deal.
The police had to be called to exchange information.
I guess I was distracted.
Just count every day as a blessing.
The repo man could have kept going.
You asked him nicely if you could get belongings out of your car.
I was trying to defuse the situation, so let him get his stuff out and move on.
Then, did this deadbeat car owner go too far?
I asked him what has stopped people from driving off since you don't have the car secured.
And what did he say?
He kicked me out of the car.
He reaches into his right pocket and flips open a knife. He tells her to go to the house and get the pistol.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. 20-year-old Michael Smith Jr. is suing tow company CFO Mike Langley and tow truck driver Randall Hutchinson for car damage caused during repossession.
Order. All rise. This is case number 253 on the calendar, the matter of Smith Jr. versus Langley Hutchinson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Smith, it is your claim that the defendant's company, which repossessed your car, I assume because you didn't pay for the car, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're claiming that in the process of repossession, they damaged the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant says that there was already damage to the car when they took the car. And their counterclaim is that you actually attacked the person on the day of repossession whose job it was to get the car from your house back for the finance company. Who would that be?
That'd be me, ma'am.
That would be...
This is the agent, yes, Your Honor.
You're the agent?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't you start out, Mr. Smith, by telling me when you purchased this car?
November of 2015.
What kind of car was it?
A Dodge Challenger.
And what were the monthly payments?
$450 a month.
When was the last month and year that you made a payment on the car?
It was either February.
Why didn't you make payment on the car?
I'd been laid off.
Did you contact the lending institution?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And?
There's nothing much that they said.
Did you have insurance on the car?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Was the insurance paid during the time that you weren't paying for the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what were the insurance payments on the car?
It's a premium of $600 every 6 months.
And when was the last time you made a payment on the insurance on the car?
I was paying insurance even after it was repossessed.
Before it was repossessed. You got the car back 3 weeks after it was repossessed because somehow you came up with the money.
I actually had my father pay it for me.
Good. Now, I just want to see about the insurance. What?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you?
I am the father. I am his father.
Over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Who paid the insurance?
He was under my premium, so I pay the insurance.
The car was in whose name?
Both of ours.
So the cars were in both names. Did you know your son wasn't paying for the car?
I did not.
That's either a yes or a no. Did you know he wasn't paying for the car?
It was later when I found out that he wasn't.
So you didn't know he wasn't paying for the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can sit down now. Didn't you think it was important, since your father's name was on the loan and it affected his credit too, that you tell him that you weren't paying for the car?
Yes, Your Honor. Another job.
Yeah, but you had months. We're not talking about a couple of weeks. We're talking about months.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, on what date was the car repossessed?
It was repossessed June 23rd.
Had you put in any sort of an insurance claim for a car accident prior to the car being repossessed?
Yes, Your Honor.
In what month had you put in a claim to the insurance company that your car was in an accident?
I believe it was 2016 of August.
August of 2016. Is that the right date, sir?
I don't believe so, no.
No. You want to step up and tell me you carried the insurance on the car, so it would have had to have gone through your insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
What year did your son have an accident?
It was October, I think it was October, November of 2015. And the other person got their payment and settled. His part of it, his damage, wasn't settled until much later.
When much later?
Possibly August, I think.
What was wrong with your son's car?
Was it the hood?
Hood?
Yes, I think there was some damage to the headlight area.
That would be the front bumper.
Correct, ma'am. And oh, you got it fixed earlier than August.
Well, why don't you go outside, because we're not going to need you rights of when you had it fixed and who fixed it.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
And, Your Honor, we can show that that damage is still there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Do I look like I'm needing any help from you?
No, you don't.
So far, your car was in a front-end accident, which means you hit somebody in the rear?
No, I kind of brushed up against a parked car. I was going less than 5 miles per hour.
So you hit a parked car?
Yes, Your Honor.
From the front?
Yes, Your Honor.
If your hood was damaged, and if your father says the lights were damaged, that means that the bumper had to be damaged, right?
It was just scrapes, Your Honor. Paint work.
Not according to your father. He said the hood was damaged. If the hood was damaged, that's not scratched paint, unless your car was traveling like this. How does your hood get scratched from brushing up against another car?
It was like this black rubber mark on the hood. It couldn't be buffed out, so it was...
And the
had to be
bumper?
taken care of. Scratch marks, it was painted over.
How much did the insurance company give you to settle?
It was around $1,500.
And how much did you pay to have the car fixed, and by whom?
$1,500. It was a body shop in Little Elm.
Name?
I don't remember right offhand.
Now, the car was repossessed, according to you, in June, the 23rd of June, 2017, and it was taken from your driveway.
Yes, Your Honor.
What
I
time?
was watching TV with my girlfriend.
Slowly, I want you to tell me what happened.
Around 11 o'clock at night, I was watching TV at the house, and I got a phone call from one of the neighbors saying that my car was being towed. So I got in the car with my girlfriend, and we drove down to the end of the street.
Why?
Just to get some of the belongings I had for a job interview in the morning tomorrow.
Go ahead.
And whenever we got there, he was still in his cab. So I got out of the car and he got out of his, and I recognized him from the previous job that I had. It was a security officer. And I asked him if I could get belongings out of my car, and I did so.
So you asked him nicely if you could get belongings out of your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he said, okay, because you knew why they were repossessing it.
Yes.
Right? And how, step by step, he said, sure. So what did you do?
I'd have my girlfriend go back to get the keys so that way I could get into the car.
And he waited?
Yes. And
while
then,
she went back to get the keys?
Yes.
And then?
And then I opened up the door. I got my belongings. It was paperwork, packets, and then it was about 4 pocket knives.
In the car, you said you needed paperwork
Yes.
for a job that you had the next day.
Yes.
What kind of job?
It was security at a retail store.
Is this the first time you worked for that security at that retail store? Or had you worked there before?
It was the first time.
So it was the first day.
I still had to go in for the interview, so I needed all my belongings from my car for the interview.
You don't need all your belongings for a car for an interview. You said you needed paperwork.
Right, and while I was in the car, I just gathered the rest of my belongings as well.
And what were the rest of your belongings?
It was 4 pocket knives.
4 knives?
Yes.
What do you need 4 knives for in your car?
I go fishing.
So when you go fishing, what kind of knives do you use to go fishing?
Pocket knives.
Why do you need 4?
They dull.
So you got 4 pocket knives. Go ahead, step by step. So you got your belongings, which your friend let you get, somebody that you knew let you get out of the car, and?
After I got all my belongings out of the car, I posed a hypothetical question of, because the car wasn't hooked up, I asked him what has stopped people in the past from leaving with their car. And after that...
No. Don't tell me you asked him a hypothetical question. You got all the belongings. You say the defendant said to you, okay, get your belongings. I need them for a job interview. And where is the defendant waiting for you?
He's in the passenger door right next to me.
Sitting in the seat?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he's sitting in the seat next to you. You're in the driver's seat.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did you say to him after you gathered your stuff?
I asked him what has stopped people from driving off since you don't...
According to you, what you said to him, what's stopping me from driving off in my car now that I have the keys because you don't have it secured? Is that what you said to him?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did he say?
He kicked me out of the car.
And?
And I dropped my belongings on the ground.
And?
I picked them up.
And?
And I alerted the police.
For what?
Because he assaulted me. I have the police report right here, and I also have the...
Show me the medical records of where he assaulted you.
It wasn't
Show
that
me a
serious.
medical record of where he assaulted you.
He kicked me, so...
Show me a medical record of where he assaulted you.
I do not have a medical record.
So what happened was, according to you, let's play out what it is. You didn't pay for your car for 5 months. The defendant's company was sent to get your car. They got your car with no confrontation at all. They pull up a little bit down the road because they don't want to start hooking up the car right in front of your house because then there may be a confrontation. So that's what repo companies do. Having been here for 100 years, they pull up a mile or 2 down the road to secure the car. You come hightailing it with your girlfriend.
No, Your Honor.
In the car, that's what you told me.
Yes.
You got in the car with your girlfriend to go after the car to get paperwork that you needed for a job interview. That's what you told me.
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant according to you, said okay when you said you wanted to get your stuff out of the car, according to you, because you needed it for a job interview the next day. So you got into the driver's seat. He got into the passenger seat. Well, not only did you pick up your paperwork from the car, you picked up 4 knives from the car. Then you said to him, according to you, well, now I got the keys, car isn't hooked up, what prevents me from pulling out? So he kicked you out of the car.
Yes, Your Honor, but I wouldn't do so because the car is 2 feet off the ground.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You had somebody that was treating you nicely, according to you. Now, I don't know if that's the story. He may tell me a whole different story, but according to you, you had this man who was treating you nicely, who could have said to you, take off. I repossessed your car because you didn't pay for it. You, according to you, said, I need to get paperwork for a job. And he said, okay, go in, get whatever you need out of the car. Then you got into the car and you threatened to drive away with it.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
I did not threaten you.
Yes, you did. If what you say to me is true, and I don't believe it, what's to prevent me, now that I have the keys, because my girlfriend went home and got the keys, what's to prevent me from driving off in the car? Then he said, what was I? Played for a sucker? I was being a nice guy. This is according to you. I was being a nice guy. I let the girlfriend go home, get the keys, bring it up.
Yes, Your Honor.
But it was 2 feet off the ground.
I'm just taking what he says. Okay. You were going to get me some information? Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's hope you tell a better story than your kid.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He reaches into his right pocket and flips open a knife. It wasn't just a regular knife, it was a knife with a hook on it. At that point, he hollered at his girlfriend. He tells her to go to the house and get the pistol. And Denton County Sheriff came out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Michael Smith Jr. says tow company CFO Mike Langley and tow truck driver Randall Hutchinson owe for car damage caused during repossession. The defendants are countersuing for threats.
You were going to get me some information? Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's hope you tell a better story than your kid. Go.
Yes, ma'am. The claim was made in October of 2016, and we had a friend repair the vehicle for us.
You had a friend repair the vehicle. What's the name of the friend?
Marco.
Does he have a body shop?
No, ma'am. He just fixes out of garages.
Well, but your son just said he took the car to a body shop to have it repaired. That's what he just told me.
That's where he got...
friend repair it. Okay, so pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much did you pay Marco to fix the car? Yeah, call him easy. That's a friend. He won't know why I'm calling. How much did you pay him to fix the car?
Approximately $1,000.
Your son just told me he paid him $1,500. See what I mean? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Sit.
Yes, ma'am.
You got where I'm going?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. June 23rd, you're doing your job, 11 o'clock at night. You repossessed a car. You pull down the road a mile and a half, 2 miles. He comes up with his girlfriend. Pick it up from there.
They weren't actually at home. They were away from the residence because they live in a dead-end street. So whenever I pulled away from the address, they came from the opposite direction. So there's no way they were sitting at home. They drove by me pretty fast, put the car in park so fast that the transmission started clicking, jumped out, and he ran over there. I recognized him from previous job. He asked if he could get his stuff out. I told him company policy is you can't get in the vehicle unless I have the key in my hand to prevent somebody from driving off.
So the company policy is you need a key.
Correct, before you can enter the vehicle.
So you told him he could get his stuff out of the car.
No, he said he needed to get stuff out of there. I told him without the key, he can't get in it. He reached for the door to grab the door, the passenger door, to get inside of it. I pushed the door closed, and that's when he told me that he needed to get his stuff out of there.
Okay.
He picked up some paperwork off the floorboard. He was reading the paperwork. He was on his phone trying to call. He even told me that he was trying to call his dad, and he was trying to call him multiple times. He was wasting time. So I told him if there's nothing else in the car that he needs to get out so I can finish doing what I'm supposed to do.
So actually you let him get the paperwork and stuff from the car.
He was in it. He wasn't supposed to be, but I was trying to defuse the situation, so let him get his stuff out. We'll move on.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Don't speak. You had your chance. I just gave you 10 minutes. Go.
He said that there's nothing that's stopping him from driving off because he's seen people do it before. I don't remember the exact wording that he used, but it was basically telling me that he's thinking about driving off. So I need to make sure that he doesn't. He reached into the back seat, was trying to get some stuff out of there. He's literally just wasting time, still calling his dad on the phone. He slides over the driver's seat, which that kind of alerts me because he's already said that he...
Don't just... Okay. He slides over to the driver's seat. Don't surmise. Don't editorialize.
At that point, I know he has the keys in his hand, so it's a push-button start, so you don't have to put the key in the ignition.
No, it's not, Your Honor. It's only a 2010.
Shh. Don't speak.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, you had all of your stuff in your hands. I'm trying to visualize Mr. Smith Jr.
Like so.
Well, how did that happen if he assaulted you and kicked you out of the car?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Michael Smith Jr. claims tow company CFO Mike Langley and tow truck driver Randall Hutchinson owe for car damage caused during a repossession.
He reached for the shifter. I'm not sure if the car was running at this point in time, but he reached for the shifter. I put my hand on the shifter to make sure that that wasn't happening, and then I pushed him out of the vehicle. He never hit the ground. He landed on his feet. The next second, I'm sitting in the driver's seat now, and he's standing outside the vehicle, and he reaches into his right pocket, which is right next to me, and flips open a knife. It wasn't just a regular knife. It was a knife with a hook on it.
Fishing.
Fishing knife. So at that point, I stood outside the vehicle, told him if he was going to use that, he better use it now. At that point, he hollered at his girlfriend that was maybe 30 yards away. She's standing by the other car that they have. He tells her to go to the house and get the pistol. At that point, I called Denton County Sheriff and alerted them of the situation, told them that he had pocket knives. I know that he had one for sure, and Denton County Sheriff came out.
Did you damage his car?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what I have. I have a lawsuit, $50 for car damage, and I have a counterclaim for $5,000 for money owed for threats of bodily harm, which, let us say I believe everything you tell me. which I don't. You behaved badly. Your car was being repossessed for a reason. Once that car was on his truck, that car was no longer yours to control because you had ceased to have an interest in it when you stopped paying for it. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, not for 2 months, not for 3 months. You ceased to have an interest in it. According to you, you got a nice guy who let you take your stuff out of the car. And then you started to be a wise guy. Paperwork isn't a fishing knife. Did the police remove knives from you? That's a yes or a no.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did they ever give them back to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
As soon as the altercation was done, Your Honor.
What altercation?
The police arriving.
When the police arrived and they removed a knife, did they remove a knife from your person?
No, Your Honor.
Where was it?
I had them all in my hands with the rest of my stuff, Your Honor.
That's on your person.
Then yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Your hands. I'm trying to visualize, Mr. Smith Jr., how it was that you had all this stuff in your hands.
Like so.
Well, how did that happen if he assaulted you and kicked you out of the car?
I gathered my belongings from the ground, Your Honor.
You mean he kicked you out of the car with your belongings?
Yes, Your Honor.
How does that happen? You fell over?
Yes.
And then you picked them up?
Yes, Your Honor. And I immediately called the police.
So did he. You've had some difficult pickups and deliveries?
I've had a few. Yes, ma'am.
This was one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't injured?
No, ma'am.
Good. Tough. Your case is dismissed. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
A wrong-way driver in a trailer park.
Tell me what he said to you.
To turn around.
As a result, he dented the hood of your car. What did you expect him to do?
Move.
Next Judge Judy.
It's unfortunate. Sometimes you got those people that...
None of